Lalaki.
Lalaki, babae. Tapos ganito po, pag ako nangangayat ka, ano ako
Dito, hindi naman siya bulag.
O yan.
Bakit po siya dito? Hindi po. Ganito po ang nangyari. Sa
39 seconds.
So bakit po nabulag?
Nag-away nga po sila ng kanyang ng
Ah.
kasi ginamit niya daw.
Pause. Pause. Doon pa lang. Hindi ako polygraph machine, ha? I am not a polygraph machine. I am not claiming to be a master investigator. Pero yung sagot mo lang na yun, klaro na. You're grouping for words. Naghanap ka ng iimbintuhin mong sasabihin mo. Nakikita ko na doon. Klaro-klaro yun. Alam mo, pag investigador ka, you are after the verbal and non-verbal messages that is coming out from your subject. Kita verbal at non-verbal, makikita mo, yun lang, Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang ipakita, emphasize na talagang may pinsan to lie itong ating resource person nandito ngayon. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, huwag na tayo magpaligoy-ligoy pa dahil panay kasinungalingan itong sinasabi niyo. Mr. Chair, since we have heard the testimonies of the resource persons present here today, in the name of JM, ano ito? What's your family name, JM? Taroma, Patrick, Simbahon, and Dodong, alias Dodong. And there are a lot of witnesses who wants to come out and to testify against Ms. France. And those who are willing to testify wants to come out, like for example, itong si Pau Pau and the garbage collector. Maybe we can summon them in the next hearing, maybe by next week, because we are going to have our recess the week after next. So, and this woman, our resource person, Mrs. France, have been giving a lot of inconsistent answers coming from me. And I believe that this woman, Ms. France Ruiz, is the mastermind of everything, of maltreating, of inflicting severe injuries, leading to the total blindness of Aling Elvie. Therefore, Mr. Chair, I move that we cite this woman, Mrs. France Garcia Ruiz, in contempt.
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion here coming from Senator Estrada to cite in contempt Mrs. France Garcia Ruiz, duly seconded by Senator De La Rosa, and under the rules of the Senate, as affirmed.
Maybe, Mr. Chair, we better confine her at the Pasay City Jail, not here in the Senate.
And if I may continue, Senator Estrada, under the rules of the Senate, as confirmed by the Supreme Court in Balag versus Senate GR 234608, July 3, 2018, and other relevant Supreme Court decisions, the committee may, as affirming likewise the case of Arnold, cite a resource person in contempt. And the Sergeant at Arms may be directed by this committee to detain the said person cited for contempt. There is a subsequent motion, unless the first motion is amended by Senator Estrada, to detain Mrs. France Garcia, to commit Mrs. France Garcia to the Pasay City Jail. The chair would perhaps ask the movant to reconsider the Pasay City detention and instead commit said Mrs. Garcia to the Senate premises for the reason that we will also be needing her immediate presence during next week's hearing, unless Senator Estrada would want to retract his modification, or if Senator De La Rosa would support the subsequent
Chair,
amended
if I
motion,
may.
the committee would decide accordingly. Senator,
Yep.
Mr. Chair,
Senator
if I may.
Estrada first.
I will not withdraw my motion. I still insist that she be committed at the Pasay City Jail, because Pasay City Jail is just near the Senate. We can always subpoena her or call her attention in case this committee needs her presence here.
Mr. Chair,
That was the pleasure of Senator De La Rosa.
before you rule the motion of Senator Jingo Estrada, na move for a 1-minute suspension, Mr. Chair. Pag-usapan tayo tatlo.
Session is suspended for 1 minute. The members of the committee will retreat to the adjoining room. Ano ba yung kwartong yon? Kusina ba yan o ano ba yan? Anteroom? To the modified motion. Senator Estrada, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Upon consultation with my colleagues, the Chairman, Senator Tolentino, and Senator Bato del Rosa, I withdraw my second motion to commit her to Pasay City Jail and instead commit her here in the Senate jail. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The said motion was duly seconded by Senator De La Rosa. Finding no other objections, comments from our other colleagues, the Senate Committee on Justice and Human Rights, after consultations with the members and a closed-door deliberation, hereby approves the said motion of Senator Estrada and a detention order be issued to Mrs. Franz Garcia Ruiz for continuously evading the questions propounded by the members of this committee, as well as falsely testifying under direct examination by committee members, and consistent with the rules of the Senate, which considers a commitment order issued by a committee as a contempt of the Senate. The Sergeant at Arms is hereby directed to place under detention within the Senate premises said person, Mrs. Franz Garcia Ruiz, with visitation rights accorded to his family members as well as counsel, effective today, September 19, 2023, given in open session by the Senate Committee on Justice and Human Rights. So ordered. Usa, can you escort Mrs. Ruiz to the detention facilities of the Philippine Senate? Any motion to suspend the hearing for today?
Mr. Chairman, I move to suspend the hearing